You know, there's an old saying, takes two to argue, but does it? I don't know. I saw something in the word today. It's really interesting. It's a word worth studying. Can you argue by yourself? I mean, I know you can argue with yourself, but can you argue by yourself? I guess it really would depend on how we define an argument. An argument can be defined as presenting evidence that supports an idea, a critical idea. Usually, the attempt to prove a point. That's an argument. Have you ever had a disagreement with someone and, I don't know, it just went too long, went too far? Argument was over. You guys were kind of going in your separate ways, but somehow you still kind of was thinking about it a lot. Maybe somebody cut you off in traffic. You ever got cut off in traffic and you got banging on the dashboard, leaning on the horn, only to discover that the poor soul that cut you off, they don't even know you exist. They're on about their life. Our word worth studying today is going to be anxiety. I know I started talking about arguments, but I want to show you in the Word of God, when we study the word for anxiety, we get an inner argument. That's nice. Come on. You're interested. Philippians verse 4 and 6, it says this here. It says, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known to God. Be careful for nothing. What does it mean to be careful? Some translations say, be anxious for nothing. But when you first think about Philippians 4, be careful for nothing, you're not going to get what the Greek language actually really says. It's not just anxiety. It's an argument. An argument. It's an argument that started with two women. Did you know that? What? An argument with two women? No one ever showed me that in the Bible before. Yeah, be careful for nothing. Let's look at this word nothing. What does it mean to be careful for nothing? Is Paul saying, don't care about anything? Of course not, obviously. But here's what's important. When you see the word nothing, it's not our word for today, but it's still a good one. When you see the word nothing, it's the Greek word meidais. And it doesn't mean nothing. It means no one. Don't be so full of care about anyone. Don't let anyone take up too much space, negative space in your mind. So who are these two women I'm talking about? Well, they were Paul's companions. The names were Syntyche and Euodias. It's very important that we understand these two because one was Jew and the other one was Greek. They represent the Jewish belief and the Christian belief and the arguments we have concerning the two. But that's another message. You know, right before Paul said, be careful for nothing, he mentions these two women and how they had a disagreement, and he was praying that they would be of one mind. They were arguing with each other, and they saw things differently, as we all do. But the sad part is that this type of thought pattern, they were arguing when they weren't even around each other, or talking about each other and thinking about each other. And all of this comes from us understanding this word, anxious, anxiety. Be careful for no one. Don't let anyone occupy your mind to that degree in a negative way. You know, the word careful comes from the Greek word marinato. Very important. This word describes someone who is obsessed with promoting their ideas and their interests. They're excited, bothered, anxious, kind of obsessive. You see, to be careful means to be obsessed. All you care about is being right. and you're arguing with this person that's not there. You know, it's really difficult for me to do this sometimes, trying so hard to keep these things abbreviated for you. Tell you what, if you want me to continue on this subject, just let me know. But I do want to say this to you. Be careful for no one. Don't let anyone get in your mind so much that you have to be right. What if they never agree that you're right? You have to know between you and God what you're doing, what you're not doing. Words worth studying. Anxiety, trouble, argument, self.